China.
China.
Chinese.
China.
We are coordinating with the Chinese government and working closely together.
I'm not sure about you, but I've been hearing a lot about China lately. More so than we have in the last 20 years. What's been going on with the red giant that makes even the most isolated Western person freak out about them? More importantly, what are they going to do in the near future? Let's start from the top of 2012 with Xi Jinping becoming chief of the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP for short. His early platform was built on removing corruption and reforming the Chinese economy. Now, Xi pulled a pro-gamer move and formed what is called the Central National Security Commission and took large steps to ensuring security within the nation to the point of becoming the head of the prison that is China today. The formation of this council worked so well, he was elected leadership core of the CCP back in 2016. While not the true leader of the CCP, he is still a figurehead and is the chairman of the much more actionable Central National Security Commission. This is what allowed him to create a mass surveillance state within the borders, create the Great Firewall, forcing Chinese citizens to use state-run websites and have little interaction with the outside world, quantify the interactions a person has daily to create a social credit score that only grows with pro-communist sentiment and can disbar a person from owning a home, dog, etc., and lock away millions of people in concentration camps to rob them of their culture and chemically castrate them. Needless to say, China's been making some moves. In addition to indoctrinating people so hard it makes R. Kelly blush, they've begun using their recent economic growth to engage in what is called checkbook diplomacy. This means acting as a sugar daddy, buying out powerful entities such as Hong Kong, most Africa, and even the most powerful of them all, LeBron James and the Houston Rockets. And of course, they are also no stranger to the far more subtle warship diplomacy, pushing oceanic boundaries and paying people we trust to not mention Hong Kong or Taiwan as they begin to militarize on and against those areas. But what is all this for? What has awoken the sleeping dragon that has caused a country known for their cheap labor force and equally cheap products that said labor force avoided? The answer is war. The Wolf Warrior Diplomacy, named after a movie where the brave and powerful Chinese special forces defeated the savage US mercenaries in Africa and Asia, has ramped up so that China could be considered the most powerful force in the world. In short, it's pure aspiration. With the falling shield state of North Korea blocking capitalists from being right at their front door, China is taking the opportunity to gear up for a power play to shake up the balance of the world. And this, of course, comes with some small tremors that we've seen with these past few months. Diplomats are burning valuable documents in their consulates and leaving back to their home countries on both sides. Donald Trump just passed a legislative bill to block all Chinese technology from being used in the States due to possible surveillance. And Fortnite finally dies. Crab rave. First, China's going to take care of the land grabs around them. Hong Kong is nearly theirs with the passing of a bill that allows any anti-Chinese sentiment in the traditionally Western semi-autonomous zone to be extradited and punished in the mainland courts. This has come with some resistance, but even the most raging of fire has to die down to embers over time. The executive chief, Carrie Lam, slapped with sanctions for denying the freedom of speech from the US. It appears that it is something she's not even concerned with. It appears China has finally exercised their claim over the region after 30 years. Next, they want Tibet. Having, no joke, banned reincarnation to finally put an end to the Dalai Lama, they have driven the native Tibetans to the neighboring countries with borderline genocide, much similar to the Muslim Uyghurs to the west. Tibet is home to some of the greatest mountains in the world, making it a strategic Shangri-La. Pun intended. Lastly, there is the country most diametrically opposed to China, Taiwan. While the leader of the World Health Organization and Mark Cuban will deny his existence, the country itself is a testament against the communist superpower. Having had a checkered past due to a split not too long ago, The country has been denied a seat in the UN and ignored by a good number of countries, mostly from those who have taken Chinese funding these past few years. After taking down these three with more and more gradual efforts, China will turn its eyes towards the only real challenge it would have, the US. As tensions grow tighter, so too do the relationships between the two countries and their allies. To the south, the democratic India has already seen their fair share of Chinese soldiers cross their borders, making that a potential land battle. Whereas, like most wars that have fought, the US has an entire ocean between the two sides. Who's to say who would win? Despite my own bias, I know for sure space would play a fairly big part in the hopefully not upcoming war. More than just surveillance, but with actual assaults, like some sci-fi stuff, no joke. What do you think? Could this be all hot air? Or do you think that World War III might actually be brewing? Regardless, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I would be very appreciative. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you Friday.